If you are new to our YouTube channel, please do subscribe down below. Turn on the notification button so that every time we upload a new video, you can easily access them. So good day everybody, welcome to another episode of Seriallawyer. Today we have our guy in the building. Now he's in the building, is that household name already, like it's part of us already. So it's like the member of the legal family team. So
you are not paying
well, don't worry. This is back on track. You are defaming in front of the camera.
Oh, okay. Alright.
Well,
sorry guys, you didn't hear that. My name is Maro. I can introduce myself. My name is Maro. I'm a technology consultant. I'm Josie's guy. I'm Josie's for the money. Don't mind him. Well, talking about something very, very interesting. We're talking about mobile app and security. A lot of people get to just use their mobile app, and they're wondering if some apps are actually very secure. Sometimes these big apps that we hear, like WhatsApp, Facebook, and the rest of them, there are speculations if they are really secured. A lot of permission we get to put on such apps, and we're wondering, are they really secured? What do you think? Oh yeah, I think I like the way you place the question. You mentioned something very key. Permissions. An app is only as secure as the permission you give to the application, right? So if you give the app to to do and undo, the application most times will do and undo, either knowingly or unknowingly. I think as we go on, one of the things we also see is probably analyze some of these applications, and then I would walk us through why certain things are not okay. Generally, from an information security perspective, there are three aspects for securing an application. There are three things you consider. There is the confidentiality, there is integrity, and there is availability of the application. Okay. So confidentiality is saying, if I send a message, can anybody look at that thing? So for instance, I'm saving key things like maybe passwords or my financial things. Who can see it? Integrity is saying, if I send something or I store something, can it be manipulated? Can it be changed? And availability is, can the application work when I want it to? So I think really for us right now, it is really about confidentiality. And when it comes to confidentiality, why it's very important is when you look at these mobile apps, sometimes the apps themselves may not necessarily exploit it, but there are some things in that application that other malicious people can exploit. For instance, I'll give you an instance. In Android applications, for instance, there is something called exported activity. What exported activity does is it will enable another application to be able to use the features of one application. So for instance, when you're on WhatsApp, or when you open another application that you want to call, that application tells you, okay, call through WhatsApp or call through something else. That ability can be used and maybe make a call without you even knowing. Right? So I can build an application. What the application will do is, if you install the application, for instance, I would use a service of WhatsApp or use a service of your email application without you even knowing.
Wow.
So I can even send an email without you knowing.
That's big.
And to even shock you, I can even do some things on your banking application. I mean, your banking application.
Like
that's
zero.
So really, just opportunity. It's something that we should pay attention, and it's something that we should look at. And I can tell you for a fact, the mobile application security place is where research is really going into that place, so we ensure that things are secure.
Okay. The truth of the matter is, these topics are usually more emerging when it gets to when we're talking about, especially these mobile apps. A lot of people are very careful about their mobile information, just to do with their financials. Because if someone can actually get your money, then it means you can lose everything in just a night. Because I once had a client, they asked me to review some security features in their app because Google Play Store had to take their app down because it was actually a loan app, and Google felt some part of it, the security part of it, was really not there. Because it means that at some point some of these apps were actually approved without these security features really looked at, and Google and Play Store is actually looking at maybe reviewing some of these apps. So I think it's something we should have to be very concerned about, especially when it comes to our finance.
Oh yeah, so talking about that, right? It's also something people should also take note. It's really why you have to ensure you update your apps.
Okay.
Because, for instance,
get that. Like, you should get this right now.
Yes.
Constantly update your app. Right, like this. This is a security feature. It's a security feature that they really need to really get. Make sure you update your app. Make sure you update it.
So because the reason people release updates, because aside from adding maybe additional functionalities, is because they want to fix a security flaw. For this your client, for instance, even though it has been taken down from Play Store, people that still add that app will still be using it. Yeah. So if there was a security flaw, for instance, they would not have gotten that update. Okay. And the attacker will still be exploiting that. Okay. I think a popular one was one that happened on one of the popular messaging apps, I'm not going to mention names, one of the popular messaging apps where information that had been transmitted and decrypted could be used by a malicious attacker. So you send a message, it gets to someone else's phone, somebody else can now see what has been sent already. And that is, that breaks the whole essence of confidentiality. So again, the key thing is always update your apps.
One, this is like number one thing for security features on your phone. Make sure you update your app. That's one thing you have to get right now. So moving forward, some of these permissions we get to see on the app, we get to see location, we get to see call. So what which one do you think we should be worried about the most, like for users and the permissions to their app?
Okay.
Which one should they be worried about?
Okay, so for permission, generally, the first rule is only grant permission when the app needs it. That is the first rule. Because so even if the app would eventually need to.
So this is like number 2 now. Don't grant all the permission on that app.
Yes.
Don't grant all permission.
Don't grant.
That's number 2.
Don't grant it because the developer may unknowingly request for all the permissions, even the one he's not using. I remember what I said at the start, that the application may not be using it, but someone else can write something that would call that application to do what it should not be doing. So only grant permission that is required by the app. Then things that we should be worried about that people don't really talk about so much is when your application is requesting to store to your external storage or take things from your external storage. These are the times where you really want to review it, because if your application is storing things on your external storage, it might be storing sensitive data.
Okay.
Your external storage could be something like your memory card, for instance.
Okay.
It stores sensitive data there.
Okay.
Then someone else, and this is also going out to people that develop apps as well. Someone else can write an application that will be reading your external storage and using it for something else. If an application is requesting access to your external storage, you really want to be sure do you want that. And again, permission should grant permission when needed. It should be temporary.
That's like number 2.
Should temporarily grant.
Make sure you grant permission as at when the app needs.
I think exactly.
So moving forward, if we were to really discuss it, for most users, they don't even know these things. All they are interested in, how can I use this beautiful app? This app is fine. I want to message my mom, or I want to call my dad, or I want to just use a particular feature that's the location for my app. And to them, they don't feel like their security is at risk. How can we even just bring this to their notice? How do we do this?
Okay, so I think this brings in the concept of privacy. And I know when we talk about privacy, and Nigerians just say,
don't really care about that.
You don't care because you're like, what do I have?
Who am I?
Exactly.
Who knows me?
What do I have to lose?
But trust me, it's risky.
But it becomes a more interesting conversation where we are not saying, okay, so we want to know what you are doing privately, even if I sent, but the things that can be done on your behalf.
Okay.
So, like I said, somebody can make a call with your phone. Somebody can use your own phone to serve as what we call a bot to attack other devices.
Okay.
Which is essentially using your battery, even the credit you have on your phone, you can have access to it and make calls. Somebody can assist.
Without your knowing, actually.
Exactly. So, I just to buttress it. Privacy is something that we take seriously.
Data privacy is very serious.
Every information that is being requested, and this also comes when you're also filling forms as well. An application starts to ask you for your BVN, for instance, or the application is asking you for things that are categorized as personal identifying information. That means things that someone can use to identify you.
Okay.
You really should be careful about this application. You really should understand why. Why don't you? And recall, we're not saying asking for these things are wrong. We're saying you should be sure
what the app needs such information for. So please always watch out what the particular app needs such information for. So that means, for example, if you're not in a financial app, why would your BVN be needed for such an app?
Exactly.
So you have to really just know what you are doing at every point in time.
Exactly.
Now, moving forward, interestingly, I like to use different kind of apps. You know, I love apps a lot. Sometimes a lot of people even download some apps that are not on Play Store. What do you think? Do you think it's wrong to do that, to download apps that are not on Play Store and use them? Like for example, there's this app called TubeMate. I know it's not on Play Store. You know, people use it to download videos from YouTube and all of that. But what do you think? Do you think they should be wary of such kind of apps?
Yeah, you should be wary.
Okay.
Because so Google Play Store, like you mentioned earlier, they have like a minimum security requirement that this application should meet.
Okay.
At least minimum. I'm not saying it's the best, but minimum.
At least
so when you take something that is not on Play Store, you cannot really vet the security of that application, and essentially you are exposing. Always think about this. The bigger picture for me, or for me actually, it's not the application itself.
Okay.
It's the things that the application can do to other applications on your own phone.
Without your knowing.
Without your own knowing, right? So you can have an application just collecting data from other applications. You can have an application calling other applications. So really, from an Android perspective, Google Play Store, I mean, if you don't have to sidestep it, I think it's the best. I would not advise to sidestep Google Play Store or Apple Store.
There's this concern I also have. There's this GB WhatsApp that people get to use a lot.
GB WhatsApp.
All you GB WhatsApp users.
I'm coming for it.
Like that GB WhatsApp. I think almost everybody have been guilty of using that app once. Maybe
I will not admit on here.
Admit I used it before.
Again, I plead the fifth, guys.
So like everybody has been guilty of this, using this GB WhatsApp, and a lot of times, I don't say myself,
Shut up.
but people have found out that at the end of the day, WhatsApp could actually do an upgrade whereby people lose their information that they have already have on their GB WhatsApp. So it means, is it a fault of WhatsApp at this point, or is it the user's fault when they do such kind of information? When you're not able to maybe back such information up, or those leakages in those apps get their information leaked to a third party? Would you want to put the blame on WhatsApp, or
that's the original WhatsApp?
Yes, or the users should be careful and to try and avoid such kind of apps?
I think users should be careful.
Okay.
I think users should be careful. I don't think it's WhatsApp's fault. I don't think it's WhatsApp, the original WhatsApp. I mean, you went yes, I mean,
you can't blame
instead of going to VI, you went to CMS.
Nobody said they still good things in CMS. What's that? Please, people buy things in CMS. What's that?
Okay. Oh, yes, CMS know that.
I love CMS. Don't go there. CMS.
Okay, but really, I think the conversation is really around the users. We can talk about the developers another day, where we talk about what are the best practices from a development perspective. I think it's something we can discuss on another day. Like saying, okay, when you develop your apps, how do you make it secure? How do you make it such that someone else cannot just clone your application and rename it? For GB WhatsApp is just essentially somebody clones the original WhatsApp, makes some features and released it, right? So, but there are things that WhatsApp as an organization could have done to prevent. There's things like obfuscation. There are other things they could have done to prevent that.
So do you think WhatsApp has a fault in this somehow?
I wouldn't call it a fault, but I mean, there are things they could have done better. That's why.
So that means at the end of the day, you're still blaming WhatsApp, man?
No, I can't do that, man. I can't do that. I can't do that.
So you're blaming WhatsApp.
I love you. I can't do that. but the bigger picture is really around the users, around you as a person, what you start to lose when you engage in applications that are not safe, and when you download when you go through maybe other means that download applications, it's really to avoid. So I think it's better.
Well, what Mario has said so far is really enlightening, and personally, I wish everybody out there could take this topic really serious, because I find out that most users are really not concerned about the security of their app. When you even tell people about data privacy, to them it sounds foreign and so like it's strange. Like, what's my privacy for what? What do I care about it? What am I offering? But you find out that if you don't keep your data very secure, people will get to manipulate it and double as you. So a different person to manipulate other people, you know. So you owe other people that responsibility to make sure that your privacy is secured. One, because you get to protect people around you, family, friends, they are at risk if you don't keep this privacy, like this information, your safety of your app very, really tight. So I think we should look into this seriously. I think other people out there should.
So I think just to even chip in on this, when you talk about family, I mean, there's a popular scam that goes around. I think it's on WhatsApp, where somebody engages you. He acts like your family member and probably tells you to send money, and he knows things about you. All that means essentially is the person has gotten information
from somewhere.
You can't tell where it's coming from. It might not even be from WhatsApp. It could be something else. Maybe just one random form you filled online where they asked you where was the street you lived in when you were growing up. So I mean, the security expert can tell you. If I ask you what's the street you lived in when you were growing up, and you tell me, the next time I'm engaging your family member, I would probably just say something like, remember that time when we were at number 2, maybe XXX Club. It already makes that person comfortable. Alright guys, Juice is out of there. Okay, so this is my show right now. So I'm going to tell you all the things that... Okay, you know what? Just subscribe. Next time we'll catch up. Take care guys. Peace.